Hey, my name's Tanya Ray, and I share my life here in Western Australia. I moved here 5 months ago at age 43, and I'm sort of unpacking what it's like to kind of start over at this age with my husband. And today we are doing something fun. We went to Kings Park, and I wanted to share this with you all because it's an absolutely free thing that you can do in the Perth area. So if you're visiting or if you live here, you probably know all about Kings Park. And I feel like I have been missing out because this is really the first time that I've spent any meaningful time in Kings Park. Like I said, I've been here 5 months, and I also lived here previously on and off. I had to go back and forth to the US for about 18 months, and I drove through Kings Park back then, but I just didn't really have a lot of time to walk around. And so this time around, now that I live here sort of permanently, I am going to be making a lot more time. In fact, there's already possibly plans for next weekend hitting more of the actual trails because today we saw the Western Australian Botanic Gardens, which is this area. So we saw around this area. And then you'll see later on that we saw the May Drive Park, which is also really pretty. You're going to see tons of trees and green because, oh my goodness, I'm just so in love. My husband initially said that he prefers the walk that we do right near our house, which is by the beach. And I totally get it because I am a beach girl through and through. I love the beach. I love the ocean. She just speaks to me, okay? But there is something about these trees that just makes me so happy. I was doing a happy dance half the time that we were in here and talking to the trees and hugging them. And I think at some point my husband was wondering, number one, are the trees answering me? Unfortunately, they weren't. And number two, am I actually going to stop and hug every tree? And the answer was probably. I managed to let some just be, but it was hard. And that's the Swan River for those of you who are not from this area. That's what you're seeing in the background. I could literally spend so many hours here, and like I mentioned before, we just saw a small fraction of this park. I think the park is about 990 acres, and there are so many trails, so many things to do. I looked it up, and I even believe that for certain parts of the park, you can get a free guided tour. Rumor has it. I don't know what the details are to that because I just happened to look it up because what I was actually curious about is if people get lost in the park very often. And I'm not actually sure to the answer of that, but it sounds like it does happen sometimes. I am one of those people who gets turned around really easy, so I was just curious about that because there's obviously these paths are very public and you can see everything, like you're going to find your way back to the car park, for example, but there are nature trails as well, and unfortunately I didn't get to go on those this time, but that's what I want to go back for. I feel like this time of year is a really great time to do that. Number one, because it's not so hot, it's nice and cool, and you can walk for a long time without feeling like you're going to melt and dehydrate. And the other reason is for those of you who are like me and really respect all of the wildlife here in Australia, but are a little bit freaked out by the snakes. I feel like this is a good time of year because you could still come upon them, but they're not as active because they're more active in the spring and summer, to my understanding, when it's warmer. So I I feel like it's less likely for me to find them or for them to find me on the trails. So I'm more motivated to do it this time of year, if I'm being honest. So I'm thinking of trying to go get some of those steps in and really enjoy the trees and all of that next weekend. We'll see. We'll see if it's raining and what else is going on in life. I just can't believe how close Perth City is to this park. Of course, we had to stop for coffee because it's Australia. That wasn't free, but you don't have to do that. That's optional. But is it though? And then here's the May Drive parkland that I was talking about. This was a really cool area, and you're going to see lots of trees because I was just really loving on the trees. And also, there's just the most amazing play area for kids and adults. Adults were in it as well. Some of it was closed off today. I'm assuming that they're just doing maintenance, or maybe they close it off for winter. And then they had these statues of prehistoric animals, not animals, but I'm losing my words. So we'll just call them animals, prehistoric reptiles, whatever, that lived in Australia. This tree, she is gorgeous, and she was like actually in the play area for the kids. I forget what this thing is called or was called, but apparently I made a joke about it being a really big crocodile, and apparently the sign said that they were not related to the crocodile. So, my bad. Oh, girl, we have the same body type. These things, I wouldn't have wanted to meet them in person, but they're so cute. I just love these trees. I could be here all day just hanging out with the trees. Yes, you did just see me giving her a little pat. And of course, there's always got to be some wildlife, some birds around. These were so cute. Absolutely love this tree. And this tree. And those are the barbecue areas. They're free to use, and the rules around here are just you clean up after yourself so it's good for the next person. And usually Aussies are really good about doing that. And there were picnic tables back there as well. So you can definitely bring your own food in as long as you are respectful and you clean up after yourself, and you can make a whole day of this. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So let me know if there's anywhere else you would like to see me go. And thank you so much for joining. And even if it's just what I need to see next in Kings Park, because I know there's a lot.